they read the rules and think, well, that's for the state, and it's not. It needs to be their guidelines. With the new rules, they specify which um, policies and procedures they need to have, and that has helped because a secondary challenge is people not actually understanding what is a policy and what is a procedure and how does that affect how I operate. So most people had a policy in their heads, but they hadn't verbalized it, they hadn't put it down on paper.
Okay. And then is there any other, like, we know we have a diverse care homeowners, different ethnic backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
As far as you know, do we need more people who can join the providers so that we can serve the community with different ethnic backgrounds also? What are we lacking? We have a lot of Filipinos, we have a lot of African American, Hispanic. Is there any other countries or
Mm-hmm.
ethnic backgrounds that you think?
You know, that's
we're
something
missing?
that somebody might want to do a study on, but for the most part, no. I know we've had some primarily Japanese providers that provided for Japanese residents. Um, but for instance, we couldn't do without our Filipino providers, but they mostly serve the general population, so they will have um, the regular Caucasian, they would have Black, they would have Hispanic, they'd have Indians, Native Americans who if they were. So I don't know. I think that's something, a study someone might want to make, but I'm not aware that there's any ethnic population that does not have sufficient representation. I do know that there are language barriers frequently.
Yeah, being in the front line, because I've been getting a lot of, questions if there are some, let's say, if there are some providers who speak only Farsi, Koreans, those
I don't
different
know of any
types.
providers that speak only Farsi because one of the requirements of being a provider and a manager and a caregiver is that you be able to speak English.
Okay.
And we do cite people several times a month, it seems, because the caregiver is not able to converse in English. Sometimes that's not the major language of the person either. So, for instance, in the Romanian houses, many times those people are Romanian.
Okay,
And
that's
so-
good. So lastly, again, I know you have a busy time, a busy day today. What do you think you can share to our viewers, mostly the assisted living, for them to remember so that they are not gonna be in trouble with Department of Health Services? What do you think that the guidelines that they need to do for them to succeed in their chosen field?
They need to know what the rules are. They need to know that if they get a citation for a violation of a rule when the surveyor is there, they turn in a plan of correction that includes what we call a system to monitor and make sure that it doesn't happen again. And if it does happen again and it's a health and safety violation, they could end up in enforcement with a civil money penalty. So they've got to be building in those monitoring systems that keep them from making those major errors, like not doing service plans or not keeping up with the medications, or those are some of the major.
And make sure they just don't put it on writing. Make sure that they have to do whatever they put it in writing as well, right?
They have,
They have
yes,
to make a follow
that's
through.
right. Because they can have whatever monitoring system they want, however, whatever works for them, as long as it works. And if they say we're going to do this and that will keep us from forgetting to do our fire alarm checks or our disaster evacuations or service plans or whatever, that's fine. Whatever they do that keeps them on the straight and narrow, that's what they need to do.
It's the implementation. That's all it matters. Also, right? They have to
It's the
implement.
implementation.
Yes.
Because the chief change in the rules in the 13 was that the responsibility now is on the provider, not on the department.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Al.
So,
And I think that was a very informative information
Good.
that our viewers can pick up and learn from it. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am.
you're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay.